Hi guys, how we doing? It's Greg here from Growing Older Gratefully. It is November. It's Tuesday, November 7th, about 8:30 Central Time here in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Hope everybody's having a great evening. It's been a few days since I've done a video blog. Kind of life is just coming at me the last few days, and every time I tried to get some time where I was going to do a video and post it, it just never happened. But I will say this, that not having posted since last Wednesday, I don't think for my psyche was a good idea. What I mentioned videos before was the fact that I've gotten so used to doing a video, at least now where I'm trying to do them about every couple of days, where it gives me a release. And I know growing up I never was. I've had friends and family and they love their diaries and so forth, but I was never one to really do that. But now I can see there's a good reason, either pen to paper, or say in this case a video blog to air out what the heck's going on in your life. I do now see the importance of it, and I know having skipped a time or a day or so when I wanted to do it a couple days ago, it has played into my mind. Now, as far as how I'm doing physically, guys, I feel great. I'm 3.5 weeks into my post-surgery. Mentally, and I'm not one, I never like to say the D word, which is depressed or depression, but I will say in the last few days, definitely had the blues. I feel the last few days, definitely 3-4 days maybe, I just feel like I'm not recovering the way that I thought I would, or that I think I should. So what I did the last couple of days, and especially today, I had a little bit extra time. I went hot and heavy back on the internet to some of the post hip surgery sites to see like where you should be at a certain time frame, because it was really bringing me down. Like I said, I don't want to say depressed, but just kind of bumming me out. What I discovered, the good news is I'm at 3.5 weeks, and when I was looking at the few different sites I went to, the 3 to 6 week period, the time frame, you only should be at resuming light activities of your daily life. So, and I read that in one site, and I said, let's go to a different site, see what he or she has to say. Well, I read about 3 different sites, and they all were pretty unanimous in that you're only resuming lightly activities in your daily life. So that made me feel very good, where I thought, okay, I'm not buying the 8 ball here. And even with, I will say this, and even though my surgeon, the physical therapist, says that I'm doing fantastic, I'm ahead of schedule, me personally, I just don't feel that way. So yesterday and today, when I kind of, like I said, going over quite a bit of stuff the way I should be progressing, I'm feeling a little bit better tonight, knowing that I'm still in that 3 to 6 week period of time. So I need to back down from that, because what had happened was, talking to my wife after the last video I did Wednesday, and just in personal conversations, she was saying, you're always talking about that recovery process, but she said, what I noticed, you talking to me, and also your last video, that you seem to be wanting to rush that a little bit. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, well, when you were talking about like the cane, that you didn't want to use that, even though I was using it, say, as a figurative, like, I don't want that cane to be my crutch. Well, of course, in a sense, like she said, the cane crunch, that's what it is, a crutch. And she said, because think about it, that cane, that isn't to say that the usage of it, but it's there for a safeguard, because as your surgeon said, he does not want you to fall at all. And that is there to help you if you need that assistance. So she says, kind of think about it, that get back to what you're saying about the process, because you're not quite looking at it that way. And I know, and her other point was, and I will say this too, that I have to, I backed off the notion too, that to best I can, to eliminate the stress of me thinking already about December 1st, my second surgery, my right hip. Same thing there. My wife said, your focus needs to be just on recovering the left hip. You can't be too worried, oh gosh, is it going to be recovered enough by December 1st? She says you have to look at it almost like December 1st is out there. Your hip's going to be, the recovery process for the left is going to be what it's going to be, but maybe with that additional stress and worrying, you're going to impede the process of that recovering as best it can. And whatever it's going to be, December 1st is what it's going to be. So the more I let that sink in, I thought, well, no, she's right. I think I was putting too much emphasis on that. I'm so adamant about I'm already having this second surgery, I'm forgetting really just the process of the recovery of this first one. So with that, it was great advice on my wife's part that let go of that as best you can. Like I said, it's hard to not get it out of your mind. It's something that's, looming out there. But I think the last couple of days trying to look at it like, let December 1st happen when December 1st happens. I'm feeling a lot better. Because like I said, on the physical end, I think I'm doing well. The emotional and mental end, I think the last few days I've been struggling. I also wanted to look today when I was doing my research just to see, because some of the things that I'm struggling with, that moving forward, how is some of that going to change? And I didn't realize, and this also made me feel better, that really it's after about the 3 month. Some had said 2 to 3, but consensus was more like after about the 3 month period in time, I am going to be able to resume a lot of my regular duties of daily living. Now, I did want to look, because I know even the surgeon and his assistant had mentioned certain things, really even almost going forever, going forward forever, you're not going to be able to do. But the 3 things that definitely early on, you're definitely not supposed to exceed the 90% with the legs up or bending forward, crossing your legs, pivoting extremely at the hip. So I thought, oh gosh, well, then that in turn kind of messed me up a little bit mentally to think, oh gosh, look at these restrictions I have. But when I read more closely into that, most of that stuff, that dissipates at about the 6 month period of time, where I'm going to be able to resume those types of activities. Always, of course, being mindful, but that isn't something that truly is going to restrict me. I'm just going to have to be careful. That was also a positive. I thought, well, heck, I know everybody says, oh, you got a bionic hip and soon a second bionic hip, but in my mind, I guess I was thinking, well, hell, if there's all these kinds of restrictions, what kind of bionic part is that? But knowing that a lot of that is short-lived, and I know for most of us, and I'm one of those, we like that instant gratification, and here I'm thinking 2, 3, 4 weeks in, I'm already going to be doing a 5K, and that just is not realistic. So having said that kind of calmed me down yesterday, and definitely today as I was doing more research on that. Now what I did find moving forward, and this really in my case ends up being a positive, that really about the only thing in a lifetime post hip replacement that you're not going to be able to do is really like excessive jumping and extreme high impact activities or sports. So when I thought about that, I was like, well, my love of the I love all activities, but my activity that I really love competitive is race walking, and there's no jumping there, and it's high intensity, I will tell you that. With me and some of my fellow track members who do it, I mean, we get after it, but it's not high impact on the joints and so forth. So I thought, well, that's going to help me, because I didn't pre this surgery be a marathon runner, which probably at that point, if you're a marathon runner, you may not be able to ever do that again, or if you ever even did something close, it probably wouldn't be close to the level that you were. So I was very, very, very uplifted by the fact that what my ultimate goal, which would be just to resume my working out of the walking, cycling, things like that, the weight training, that's not going to be a problem whatsoever. And then the competitive end, if I'm going to get back into my 5K, 10Ks of race walking, when I feel like I'm physically able to do that, I will be able to do that. So that's been a good thing for me. Today, Tuesday, I had therapy yesterday. Went at it pretty hard. Today I decided, because I'm a little bit sore, to take it easy. Part of what I thought today was, which that was part of where my blues came in, is the fact that I thought, man, these physical therapy sessions, they're kicking my rear end. So I'm thinking, that played into me where mentally I'm like, well, how's my recovery going? Because I mean, I should be feeling, as poorly as I am, but it took me to realize that I'm not looking at it in the proper perspective. The proper perspective was what I'm doing therapy now, week 3.5, is not what I did session 1, session 2. So when I'm doing these workout sessions, these physical therapies, obviously where I'm at with what they're doing, they're always somehow or another an increase of the activity, whether it's the movement itself, the angles, whether it's weight. So they're not the same. So when I'm thinking that I'm not moving forward, that isn't true. If I probably did the activities I did session 1, even 2, I probably can do it in my sleep. So it took me a little bit to get over that notion to say, yeah, you big dummy, things have increased quite a bit, and going forward they're going to increase quite a bit more. So I had to look at it that way. So with that, I just wanted to touch base with everybody and let everybody know I'm doing well. It's just gonna, I just got to keep fighting the fight and enjoy the process, the recovery process, and do the best I can with it. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll talk at you in a couple of days. I hope everyone has a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.